Hey friends, welcome to Generation Tech. I'm Ben, and today we're going to look at 5 force powers that actually kind of exist in real life. Number 1, breath control. This is the power of holding one's breath that the Jedi frequently use to escape from poison gases. There are more instances of its use in Legends novels, but we do see Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi appear to use the ability to escape from the poison gas Dioxis in The Phantom Menace.
Dioxis.
They hold their breaths for a total of 28 seconds of on-screen time, but I'm guessing that this is supposed to represent a longer period of time since movies often condense time to keep the story moving. So I'm assuming they probably held their breath for a few minutes. They then burst out of the room without seeming to be out of breath at all. In the real world, freedivers can also hold their breath while swimming underwater for a few minutes. The world record for a freediver floating still underwater whilst holding their breath is 11 minutes 35 seconds. Divers have also swam down to a depth of 129 meters or 400 feet without any artificial aids such as weights, and then swam back up to the surface again, all whilst holding their breath. So Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi standing still holding their breath in a room for 5 minutes and then bursting out is probably doable in real life by a highly trained athlete. Number 2, Jedi mind tricks. We see a lot of this in the original trilogy, like when Obi-Wan Kenobi sneaks R2-D2 and C-3PO into Mos Eisley right under the nose of the stormtroopers who are looking for them.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
These aren't the droids we're looking for.
He inserts the thought into the minds of the stormtroopers that these aren't the droids they're looking for, without having to go into a dream, within a dream, within a dream. Thank God Christopher Nolan didn't direct Star Wars. Anyway, what Obi-Wan Kenobi did is similar to real-life hypnosis, where the subject is put into a hyper-attentive state where they are easily susceptible to suggestion. In fact, in real life, this kind of suggestion is quite easy even without hypnosis or psychic energy, as British illusionist and hypnotist Darren Brown explains.
An experiment that will work on most of you. I will try and transmit you the identity of this card. Don't try and guess what it is. Just wait until you get it. Make the colour bright and vivid. See a screen in your mind, and on the screen the little number low down in the corner and up at the top, and the things down the middle, down the centre, the boom 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 down the middle of the card. Picture it. Have you got it? Say out loud what you think it is. I had the 3 of diamonds. Did you get it?
There are, of course, examples of a more supernormal kind in the real world, and we'll get to that next. Number 3, force empathy. This is when a force user can sense emotions coming from a being in the vicinity, or sometimes even a longer distance away. We see it multiple times in the Star Wars movies.
I sense an unusual amount of fear for something as trivial as this trade dispute.
Pain, suffering, death, I feel.
I felt a great disturbance in the Force, as if millions of voices suddenly cried out in terror and were suddenly silenced. I fear something terrible has happened.
In real life, many people have reported that they can sense the feelings and emotions in others. These people are known as empaths. There is a hypothesis that these people can sense emotions due to the overlapping of the human body's electromagnetic fields. In Chinese traditional thought, this energy carried by the human body is known as qi, and it's been proven to a certain extent using Kaelian photography to capture images of the electromagnetic field given off by the human body as well as other objects and living beings. This is also sometimes referred to as someone's aura. Advocates of the theory hold that these auras can transmit emotions. The research of Japanese scientist Masaru Emoto has also shown that emotions can be transmitted through water, with positive emotions producing beautiful symmetrical crystals when the water is frozen, and negative emotions producing unsymmetrical distorted crystals. It works the same way with beautiful music and music that brings up more negative emotions. Knowing that 70% of the human body is made up of water, it doesn't take much to assume that this water could have a reaction that manifests as a physical feeling when one picks up positive or negative emotions transmitted from other beings' electromagnetic fields. A feeling like a disturbance in the Force, perhaps. A higher level master could probably feel feelings from greater distances away, like when Yoda can sense Anakin's murder of the Sand People, or Obi-Wan sensing the destruction of Alderaan. Number 4, force telekinesis. This refers to ways in which force users can move around physical objects without actually applying physical force to them. These range from moving fruit around to impress girls because you know that your chat-up lines suck.
I'm haunted by the kiss that you should never have given me.
to throwing around large metal objects in an attempt to kill your own son. Well, anyway, in the real world, examples of people using their mind to throw around large objects are harder to come by, but there are some examples on a smaller scale. Uri Geller has been famous for using psychokinetic powers to bend spoons and manipulate other objects since the 70s. Although critics say that his tricks could be reproduced with magic illusions, Geller has always claimed that he does have genuine psychokinetic powers. His powers have attracted the attention of the CIA, who did a series of experiments with Geller according to recently declassified documents. Geller says that what the documents reveal is actually only the tip of the iceberg, and that in addition to experiments, he did actually carry out secret missions using his powers for the intelligence services. Number 5. Force jump. We've all seen Jedis perform really high jumps. In fact, there are those who supposedly aren't Force users who also have the ability. In the real world, ordinary people can't jump that high, but there are those who can kind of rival the skill. The Guinness World Record for the highest standing vertical jump is held by Evan Ungar, who jumped onto a 1.6 meter or 5'3" high platform at One Health Club in Oakville, Canada. Looking at some examples of similar jumping skills throughout history, the light body skill in Chinese Kung Fu received a lot of attention in the West with the release of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. And there have been lightness skills known as Qinggong practiced in various styles of Chinese Kung Fu for centuries. While boxing manuals refer to the skill of being able to walk on water or jump higher than the height of the average person, in the modern world this is more like a myth of martial artists who live in the mountains and don't come into contact with society. Many practitioners also believe these skills have been lost to the past. But there are people who have developed some level of the skill, being able to run up vertical walls or jump down drops that will cause the average person to break their legs. In the internal martial arts, the skill is achieved by regulating the chi and the breathing in order to manipulate one's movements. There are also external training methods, such as strapping weights to the body, balancing, walking on bricks and the edge of pots. Okay guys, so there are some examples of some force powers that kind of exist in real life, even though some have been criticized by scientists and some have been lost to history. What do you guys think? Have you got any better examples? Leave your comments below. Please subscribe if you're new. Give this video a like. And if you're watching this, you are Generation Tech.